What's good, everybody? How y'all doing this morning? How you doing, Tracy? What's good? So my first live, I'm gonna put that one on membership because I don't know, it just didn't sound right to me. But anyway, I want to get my point across very clearly because it was muted at the beginning. I don't like that kind of product being out there. So let me make sure you guys can hear me clearly. Obviously, I can see it vibrating on the OBS thing. So yeah, I just got finished doing about what, like almost like 20,000 views in less than an hour, and that's why like ODS was mad. And like I said earlier, well, let me just say it this way. I'm gonna put that last live on membership and I'm gonna keep this one public. But the whole thing, the whole lemon ordeal with VS and everything like that, I'm gonna totally stay out of it. And y'all don't have to worry about me allegedly working behind the scenes and things like that. And I know my name get thrown around a lot when it comes to VS when she's on the scene and me and my girlfriend. Okay. Um, and we are not on the side of losers when it comes to that situation. And, you know, what has been done between me and that lady and other parties that are associated with me have already been done. It's already been concluded. I don't have no need to go around being mad at VS. You know what I'm saying? I don't. Um, she's back active. And the main thing for the past like 3 years has been, a lot of her beef has been concerning me and somebody associated with me, right? So what I'm happy about is the fact that you guys got, your leader back and in the beef sector, right? So when she goes out there and do what she does, you know what I mean? And everybody's clapping their hands and things like that right now. As far as everything that's happening to Lemon, I can't say it's bad. Like I can't go the extra mile and say it's wrong and everything like that because Lemon have put himself in a situation where he said that that's his OG and I was the one with him, and it's not saying it was a choice or nothing like that, but I was the one there with them when he was getting bullied by J Dunn with the copyright thing and all that shit, and also even when his monetization got snatched that time. I taught them how to do it, get through it, just like I did with Binary. So Binary got his monetization back. He gave me a big thank you. That's what's up, right? So, I helped the nigga channel out a few times and shit like that. And all to just go back to say that B sector, B sector, B sector, B sector, B sector, right? And when I come around, I'm not trying to get people to choose a sector. Okay. Like they'll tell you that I come from the black sector. They'll tell you all this stuff about these different sectors and stuff associated with me. And the truth is the only sector love that I'm getting as far as sector love like that, like I got friends over here in the beef sector or whatever, but the only sector love I get is right now from the Latrice Allen sector. Like, that's it. Like if I start doing content over there tomorrow, I could have things popping, on that level. And the same thing with the street sector. So as y'all see on my main channel, I just got finished doing my live. We had got up to almost 600 people in the chat and I gained like 40 subscribers in one while. I'm very proud of that. And the subscribers just keep going up and up. And I got more ideas for what I'm going to do moving forward with that new group of people. So, they like the content that I provide. And sometimes the content is not all about me talking as much, but moving forward, I'm going to have forums for the guys to call in and things like that. For my new people, doing all of that. All right. So I'm gonna have call-ins and everything like that for the anti-Trump, pro-war, anti-war people, and I think that'd be a lot of fun, right? Um, but let's get back to the Lemon and VS situation. I just want to say that Lemon really burned bridges with people that tried to help him, even including Shish Trish and that whole thing with the picture. Like when I saw the raw photo of Lemon with his eye covered that he gave to Shish Trish with the pink, you could see the lips were pink in that photo. All right. They were very, very like fuchsia pink in that photo, the original photo that she had to use to do the AI image and whatever. All right. And it was blown out of proportion. Now, this is like the second time Trish has helped him get his channel back up to over 1,000, promote his channel and things like that. And like, what did he give her? You know, he gave her his ass to kiss. Okay. And I can almost imagine there's very few dollars that were even exchanged, you know what I'm saying, for her help and her what she has done. So I'm not here to beat down Lemon and everything like that, but I want to make it very, very clear to a lot of people that I am not working behind the scenes. And I know a lot of people want to feel so important that Octavius is plotting on them behind the scenes. I am not plotting on nobody behind the scenes, especially Ken and especially VS. Okay. I am not plotting on people that are already eviscerated and destroyed multiple times over. Okay. Like it's not gonna give me any pleasure to do that. Like I'm going into new frontiers and things like that. And it was even this rumor, and I forgot to address Goosey when I was over there on Binaries, that some kind of way I went on his channel because I have knowledge of OBS, that something about somebody went up there and did some gruesome stuff on his panel. And it's like the thing is, when Goosey does come around, it's like, you don't matter like that, bro. Like, I know that these old ladies, you know what I'm saying, that just want attention from men, some desperate old ladies that want to be in the chat, things like that. Like, and like that T. Daniels lady, I seen her act like that before about me. And I'm like, lady, I don't even fucking know you. I never spoke a bad word to you. And tell me, I can't stand this. This is so. And I'm like, you live with shit dogs shitting in your fucking house and pissing in your fucking rugs and shit. Okay? You live with dog shit in your fucking home. You have a fucking dog as a goddamn thumbnail on fucking YouTube, and you get up on a fucking panel. But what I have seen, you're boring as fuck. You start talking about cooking, baking, and eating and shit. So let me know you're a fat bitch. So I tolerated that bullshit that you've been doing for a little while, and I'm gonna give you my complete ass to kiss at this point. Cause I hate that shit when like you don't even know a motherfucker and a nigga just don't like you. Like I don't like, the thing is, if you want to be part of the cool kids, fine. What you think is the cool kids is not the cool kids. Okay? Octavius is the cool kid. Octavius can go to multiple sectors and do commentary in multiple sectors that have hundreds of people in the chat, or based off any sector that I can go in. If I go back to the street sector, you see street sector people in the chat. If I start talking about Latrice Allen sector, you see Latrice Allen sector people in the chat. All right. So me having a need for a nobody, nothing ass troll that's behind a black screen. The same thing with Lemon. You know what I'm saying? Like, the thing is, I'm very kind, I'm very genuine and shit like that. And I try not to be over, you know, confident around people that lack confidence as much, because it hurts them and they feel like I'm boisterous and I'm a chauvinist or whatever the fuck. But you know, the truth is the truth. You know, you niggas are not on that same level. You niggas are not famous like that. You know what I'm saying? And like Lemon thought that he was on some Octavius Prime shit when it came down to old girl, when it came down to VS and shit. And he learned very quickly he ain't no motherfucking Octavius Prime. All right. And ODS learned that shit as well. So when he got out there, I started imitating that sissy sass bullshit. And I said, bitch, you gonna beat me down, ho, motherfucker, down, all that, all that little shit, you know what I mean? And it's like, you niggas can't even beat me in the crafts that you niggas are supposed to be masters in. So, I look at Lemon, I sympathize to a certain degree. I believe that's fucked up or whatever and all that shit. But see, at the end of the day, what was fucked up was when he invited LGI and Clyde Diva, and the next thing you know, the whole show became about Octavius and all this shit. You know what I'm saying? When it comes down to my relationship and my everything, like everything that you do about me. And I don't even know where this read come from about some big jeans or some shit. I don't know where that shit come from about these jeans or whatever. Cause like, I don't think there's a photo that has been uploaded with me wearing jeans in the first place. So like, these people are just like weird, the obstinate, stupid. And I'm not going to be caught up in it. You know what I'm saying? Like what they got going on and their delusions and shit like that. But, Lemon got a lot of trouble coming his way. And see, what's happening right now is Lemon is going to start to learn. How you doing, Fairy Mary? What's going on? Thank you so much, Tracy. Yeah, but Lemon's going to learn very quickly that that he has no friends out here. All right. So that whole shit I called about ODS, and I was like, yeah, I found it very interesting because that was the same timing that ODS had for Kiki. Remember? The same timing. It was the same timing. And yeah, that same timing for Kiki, all of a sudden, Kiki used to be his moderator, and Kiki and all that kind of shit. And then all of a sudden, Kiki is under a troll page on TikTok and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? This around the same time in December when Kiki was doing her thing around December 25th, around Christmas and shit. Then all of a sudden he got all these issues like, oh, some kind of Mary Kay or somebody was under a fucking troll, and he had an issue right then and there when he thought VS was coming out around that same time. So then I saw him do the same shit when all it was, I guess King Kaios caught a screenshot of ODS over there cheerleading in the chat, you know what I'm saying? Cheerleading Lemon's demise or whatever the fuck, you know what I'm saying? And I just said, oh yeah, I just called it out. I called out bullshit. I just say, yeah, that's what that fuck nigga does. Like, he's a bitch ass nigga. He has no backbone. You know what I mean? And my thing is, like, myself, I'm a better content creator than 99% of y'all. And like in multiple sectors. And a multifaceted and things like that. So ODS ain't shit to me. Or Goosey ain't shit to me. A Lemon ain't shit to me. You know what I mean? I'm just telling y'all the truth from my heart. Because I'm not lying about it. Them niggas ain't shit. Whatever niggas thought they achieved in the B sector, I achieved that shit 3 years ago. In a couple of months. You know what I'm saying? In a couple of months or whatever, I achieved whatever fame that you could achieve in that space. I achieved that shit in 2023. All right? So, like when these niggas be speaking and shit like that, that's why motherfuckers really don't like me in these spaces, because they know I don't give a fuck, and I just tell y'all the truth about what I see. And I really believe that ODS is definitely scared of VS and that whole John Wayne Gacy bullshit, you know what I'm saying, or whatever the fuck. I mean, like my thing is, I'm not here to even call what she doing is bullshit. Like whatever she want to do with her sector, you know what I'm saying? And that's their leader and boss, shit like that. Like, I would respect that's her space. All right? That's her space and shit like that. That's whatever, right? So, and niggas quickly would tell me that's who they answer to and shit like that, right? So, but at the end of the day, I'm not here like that. I'm here to just call out truth and call out people on truth and call people on their bullshit when I see it. So, I believe ODS is probably definitely scared of that same treatment that Lemon's starting to get right now. And it's showing. It's showing. You feel me? It's showing. And, they already had some kind of allegations and belief systems about ODS and things like that based off the T-Mobile Twitter shit and all that little shit or whatever. I ain't trying to rehash that shit, but and then the little pussy ass nigga thought that he was gonna come up there and try to protect me. Like how? How the fuck can you check me based off some fucking rumors and jealous bitches up there making up imaginations and shit? Just scrawling motherfuckers, lying on a nigga name and shit like that with no evidence, no proof of nothing, no receipts on the fuck thing. You know what I'm saying? Oh, my girl got up here a couple of times drunk and said some crazy shit and then always apologize. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gonna base it all off that. Okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? But, based off eyewitnesses and things like that, and niggas like his life, when it comes down to like the Rico situation and shit like that. And I'm not trying to shade Rico and shit, you know what I'm saying? But I just got to tell the truth about a nigga, you know what I'm saying? And the thing is, it's like these niggas are so thirsty, desperate, lonely, you know what I'm saying? And that was why these niggas really hated me, dog. It's because of the fact that they are lonely as fuck. They wet their bed with tears and shit. They ain't even got a phone relationship. You know what I'm saying? And some of these hoes that like they so lonely and shit. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is, me being a man, a masculine man, a heterosexual man, why does my presence hurt you so much? You know what I'm saying? Why do my presence for a bitch like, you know what I'm saying, that T Daniels motherfucker, you know what I'm saying, hating a nigga out of motherfucking calls and shit. Why does it hate you? Why does you get filled with envy and hate and anxiety so fucking bad just about my presence and my strength and my force of nature and shit like that? You know what I'm saying? And my intelligence and shit, obviously. You know what I'm saying? The bitch was on a fucking channel that the nigga was going to give up on if he didn't lost his monetization. And you didn't even have the thought in your motherfucking head, respect the nigga that gave him the game. You know what I'm saying? So this man can move forward to feed himself and his family based off advice from Octavius Prime. But bitch, you think that, you know what I'm saying, you've been around or whatever the fuck, and you felt like you fucking mattered like that, and you quickly found out you fucking didn't. Okay? But I'm not beefing with that lady. I don't even know who the fuck she is. I know she a weirdo that like dogs and shit in her fucking home. And I'm like, bitch, you live with fucking dogs, nigga. You live with fucking animals in your fucking home. You know what I'm saying? Pissing and shit, multiple animals, big ass dogs and shit. You know what I'm saying? And I could go further with that, but I'm not going to go dark on the motherfucker right now. You know what I'm saying? But like, bitch, don't ever speak on me. Don't, bitch, just leave, go some fucking where else or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And when I hit the link, the show start popping, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Because niggas, it's supposed to be the beef sector and shit, but you bitches want to turn into a goddamn tea club. Or, y'all want to sip tea together like y'all gentlemen and gentle ladies and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But when a nigga come up there, like, yeah, I got an issue. I call that fuck nigga out on his bullshit. All of a sudden, you feeling all kind of urges in your body, and you want your babe to win. But bitch, I'm the nigga you hate, and I'm the nigga that you hate is always fucking winning. That's why you bitches stay pressed and mad. And I get it. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm ever bored, yeah, I'm gonna go over there and crush niggas' heads and say what the fuck I feel, say what niggas, you know what I'm saying, can't, you know what I'm saying? That's it. You know what I'm saying? So like, I usually don't be around like that anyway. And I'm kind of like disappearing from this space as we speak right now. All right. I'm fading away kind of as you see. All right. Going into some other shit. But the whole thing with like, let's get into the lemon shit. What's going on, everybody? Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. What's going on, Castro, Cannon? You know what I mean? And Castro, they'll say I hate gay niggas. I don't hate nobody, dog. I don't. You know what I'm saying? But I'm even telling a lot of these gay niggas, Castro. You know what I'm saying? That these niggas claiming to be gay, but these niggas ain't. What's a fairy nigga? What's a fairy princess ass nigga? You know what I'm saying? They ain't getting I'm calling out as a straight nigga. I'm just looking at from a logical point of view. These niggas have been asexual and by themselves for years and shit. These niggas need to give up on the moniker of being gay because these niggas ain't getting no motherfucking actions. You know what I'm saying? These fairy princess ass niggas ain't even getting no dick and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? but they want to claim to be gay. These niggas are asexuals, you know what I'm saying? Eunuch motherfuckers. You feel what I'm saying? So just same thing with Lemon. He's a motherfucking eunuch. You know what I'm saying? Something ain't right and shit like that. But at the end of the day, Lemon got himself into that shit being too fucking friendly, thinking that he was an exception to the rule. Okay. You know what I mean? Thinking that he can just be open doors, get on the internet, being raggedy ratchet, getting drunk as fuck, opening doors to these niggas. And you see how ZX, Ken, and all the motherfuckers over on that panel and shit, ready to serve his ass up. Ready to serve his ass up. And the whole thing is, it's like, yeah, she's saying that she cool with Mia and all that kind of shit. Like, it's cool and all that shit. But if she already got your doc's information, it's gonna come out. You feel what I'm saying? It's gonna come out. Like you like I mean, you know what I mean? And you know what I'm saying? Like I like y'all know, you know what I mean? My thing is even with Mia, and it's like Ken ain't got no backbone when it comes to VS. None. So I mean, that's all I'm gonna say about that. He ain't got no backbone to come to that lady. But yeah. So Lemon got all this shit going on, and then have ZX up there. Now ZX, like on Saturday, was up there. I guess it was Saturday or Friday night, or it was Friday night. I think it was. That's what Clyde Diva hit the link over there at Lemons, and ZX was up there. Oh, brother, don't let him up on the panel. You know, and all that. Like he don't know us and all that. Lemon. And giving Lemon all this motherfucking advice. But you see where, you know what I'm saying? You see when one person come along that he figured that got more clout. It ain't the fact that he liked BS. That dude would suck dick if he could get 200 people in his chat online. You know what I'm saying? He would do it online, bro. On YouTube. With 1,000 people watching, he would do that shit online. You know what I'm saying? If he figured he can get 200 people in his chat for the next 2 years, he would do it. You know what I'm saying? The nigga would do anything for clout. So he see her as the clout, the ultimate clout in the spaces. You know what I'm saying? That I feel that he feel that's obtainable for him. All right. And there's a market for people like ZX online, but I would never get that nigga a clue. You know what I'm saying? How to get to that market. But nevertheless, it ain't about the VS. It's about what she's supposed to represent in his mind. And then it was also the same thing with Lemon. It wasn't about Lemon. It was about what Lemon represented in his mind. That's why he was ass kissing. That's why he didn't mind going out and getting dropped, humiliated, call all kind of yaggots and bitches and hoes and shit like that, only to come up there, get disrespected. Same thing he be doing with Pizarro. Same thing he be doing with Brianna and all the other people in the beef sector and shit like that. The nigga is thinking in his head some kind of way it's going to be Reaganomics or trickle down effect of clout, and it never does. Like you might have like 75 people in the chat and things like that, you know what I mean? But, you know, or maybe somebody come and hit the link and visit the nigga, you know, and then he'll like live off that type shit. You know what I'm saying? He'd be like, okay, like he'll live off that. You know what I'm saying? Like when King Roman hit his link that day before he lost his channel. The day before I reported his channel, he lost that shit. That was the same day. And you know, he was so happy he had like cool 250 people in the chat or something like that. Oh, he thought he was balling. And then all for the motherfuckers to come along and all for that shit just be taken away. You know what I'm saying? But that's what he has. That dude has no integrity. You know what I'm saying? So he been over there playing father figure for the past couple of years, the lemon and everything like that. Now that he's figured that a bigger player is out on the scenes. And trust me, if there was a bigger player than VS to come on the scenes that he figured he can get access to and he made good with, he'll sell her ass down the river as well. That's his nature. You see it played out. You see it, and it's not even me. That's the true nature of these niggas. All right. So, like, even the whole thing with y'all see me go through with LGI, and I'm not trying to bring up the dragger, but at the end of the day, I understood the mission when it came down to some of the people I've talked to on the internet and the nature of some of these people. Right. And I did have concern and care for LGI. You know what I'm saying? Definitely did. But at the end of the day, when it came down to my relationship and my personal life, I didn't give her access to that. You know what I mean? If she talked to me, I definitely wasn't on the phone trying to give her clues about all the stuff I got going on with Kiki and, you know, all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, like, sometimes she crashed out or whatever. We had a conversation and, like, yeah, oh, she called me or whatever. Kiki on there crashing out, whatever. Oh, okay, you know, I'll see what she can do. Maybe she's just feeling a little down about whatever, you know what I'm saying, da-da-da. But that was deep as that went. And pretty much everything I've ever said publicly about Kiki, it was said in private, same thing to anybody that's outside of the relationship. You know what I mean? Well, nobody really got an exclusive from me behind the scenes about Kiki and what we got going on. And that's just something that I learned. You know, kind of have your guard up and shit like that, you know, with people. And don't overextend yourself. Yeah, he definitely is trash. He definitely is trash, Tracy. And you know, it's just the nature of the people that are here right now. And like ODS will probably tell you that maybe like he tried to play that I'm Octavius homophobic card, all that little bullshit. But I mean, ODS is just a bitch ass nigga. He's a bitch ass, weak ass nigga with no fucking backbone. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't got nothing to do with his sexuality. If he was straight, he would still be a bitch ass, weak ass nigga. You know what I mean? And I think that maybe he got some secrets and he trying to like show where he ain't got no affiliations with Lemon at this time. And it's like what's showing right now, Lemon ain't got no friends. Like Lemon ain't got nobody backing him. Nobody coming out there swinging and saying that shit ain't right. None of that shit. And, you know what I mean? I'm not going to be that nigga advocate, even as a centrist, because that nigga went out his motherfucking way to dig into my personal life because he's a jealous, lonely, sissy ass nigga, his damn self. You know what I'm saying? And I had to just face the facts about Lemon. You know what I'm saying? There are certain aspects about Lemon I do like, and things like that, but maybe it's some childhood trauma there. Maybe he been abused or something like that. And, you know, and you see his father been went to jail on some fucked up shit. You know what I'm saying? And that picture that they have of that guy does look like Lemon's father. That guy look like Lemon. They resemble each other and shit. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I know he feeling depressed about, the CPS call. And then we had this whole narrative about, I mean, my thing is, if you do want to blame me for what happened about the picture in December, like Goosey was trying to do, I mean, like the thing is, there's no one that you can tell on me in the beef sector. It's nobody in those sectors that you can tell on. That's like the same thing when Ken be going live trying to put it out there that I believe Octavius is doing this and that. And it's like, nigga, if I was doing this and that, who the fuck gon', you know, what the fuck you gonna do and what the fuck the people that you telling gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Because 99% of the time, you bitches call and do false police reports on shit I ain't fucking doing to you. You just gonna look stupid with the goddamn police. You know what I'm saying? So I don't be bothered by that shit. I don't get bothered by the alleged like telltale shit or whatever, because there is no one to tell. Plus, I'm not bothered by you niggas. Plus, 99% of the time, I'm chilling, unworried, unbothered about nothing ass niggas. And I'm like, the whole thing is what y'all saw with the niggas in the black sector this past week. Them niggas were clout chasing the fuck out of me. You know what I'm saying? Niggas had numbers in their chat because of me. You know what I'm saying? You can throw Kiki in there if you want to, but it was like Octavius' name in the title and shit like that. The hate crowd coming. Niggas really be believing that whatever a motherfucker got to say about Octavius online is the final destination. One day niggas gonna get together and finally get me right. And I'm telling you right now, my niggas, it's never happening. It's never happening. See that same shit that's happening with Lemon, with the fucking with the nigga housing and all that shit. Now, nigga was over there trying to get a motherfucker to go all of my finance and lie on me about my finances and shit. Now, the whole thing is that I'm being taken care of by this person from the internet, and I got $2,000 in 3 years, and I showed y'all that in receipts. That ain't no lie. That ain't nothing. All right? But it showed y'all exactly what the number was in the past 3 years since I known this person. You know what I'm saying? But this person had been a moderator of mine, have donated, and I appreciate everything I got. Right? But at the end of the day, the lie was that I was being fed by this person. All right? I was being fed. And the niggas wanted to run with that shit so fucking bad. You know what I mean? But now they finding out that this nigga living in Section 8 housing, affordable housing and shit like that. And that he may have been lying to his rent man or to Section 8 about. And I like, my thing is me talking about that, I get too many clues about the flaws in that philosophy in the first place. But I'll be educating niggas how to hurt that man even more, so I'm not going to do that. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of flaws that I was hearing some real country bunking ass shit that ain't make no fucking sense. You know what I'm saying? About their plan or whatever. But I ain't here to educate niggas on how to do that shit. But the thing is, this nigga supposed to be living in below poverty. All right? Point blank period. This nigga supposed to be in dire poverty to live in those apartments from what they're saying about him. And see, this is the facts of this nigga's life. Meanwhile, don't you think niggas, much as they hated me, they would try to call the white man on Octavius and shit, or call the government if I was in that kind of situation, much as niggas hate me? I'm pretty sure they done looked and it was nothing there. It wasn't no white man that you could call to, you know what I'm saying, make me homeless or kick me and my mama or whoever else they say I live with out. There ain't no bank that you can call. How about that? As well. So, see, that's the difference. And that's why niggas stay mad, niggas stay pressed, and niggas want y'all to believe a artificial reality about me and artificial reality about Kiki. So the Goosey thing was supposedly I got a photo. I was going through my computer and I found a photo, and that's from way back, like 2001, 2002 or something like that. And it looked just like that lady. It looked like her at like 20 years old or something like that. Like she was 20 or 19 years old or something like that. All right. And I just hit him. I say, like, dude, who you think this is? It was supposed to be some shit like that. And then when I talked about it on his live, see, I didn't know niggas deified this lady the way they deified it. So I'm innocent. I didn't think it was going to be something like, oh, I'm just really clout chasing. Nigga, there is no clout for me to get in these spaces. And I, like, bro, and it's like, bro, I love y'all niggas, bro. I love y'all niggas. But this is not the clout. This is not the space to get all the like the beef sector is not the end result of clout. You know what I'm saying? Troy Allen over there getting numbers like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Troy Allen getting numbers, and a few other people getting numbers and shit in spaces that I helped create. Ain't no doubt about that. Right? And like I even told niggas, I said, yeah, when me and Kiki left the beef sector around by, well, we didn't leave, but when the street sector was being created, she had 2,000 subscribers. I had 2.3 thousand subscribers. Within that year's time, I think by about the end of that year, we had I had 5,000. I think she had almost 9. I had about 5,000. She had about 9,000. So we gained more, and then we went into more of the mainstream internet type vibe that, you know, along with the street sector that brought us more subscribers. All right. And then my connection with other sectors as well brought me subscribers and things like that. You know what I mean? So it's not like I needed the clout from someone like Goosey is like not a person that could like talk about nothing because he would miss years of like events. And same thing, like even with a lot of the people that do talk about like even their own beef sector history, because it seems like a lot of them wasn't here when VS first came back. Then they would actually know what was happening around that time when she first came back. You know what I mean? So it's like that's another thing as well. I already had that back and forth with her originally when she first came back. So everybody she knew at that time knew me. Okay. So it's like me trying to I was just like, oh damn, I didn't even know I'll just say I want to show somebody in the beef sector, hey, look, you know, let's talk to first. And I said, I just mentioned on his channel. He said, oh, you talking about that picture of so-and-so? I'm like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Ha ha, whatever. Now, however she took it or whatever, that's how she took it. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, Lemon sold me out, a nigga that helped protect this channel and protect this monetization. And for a person that he heard about, really, but come to find out, they rarely had even conversations, even on panels and shit. So now I'm out of the way and I don't have no motivation to come over to be Mr. Savior. I don't like seeing people get bullied and families fucked with and shit like that. But Lemon was so apt and happy to see trying to be a bitch ass nigga, thinking that it was some kind of demise of Prime and shit, and I'm gonna be a raggedy bitch out here. Like, it'll never happen, brother. There ain't nobody out here that can do that to me. It ain't. Niggas have been trying for years. It ain't gonna never fucking happen. You think niggas ain't trying to flag my channel every day? Probably worse than yours. But the thing is, I don't have that type of content for a motherfucker to even do that. This is a solo dolo project. So every knee shall bow, every tongue confess that Jesus Christ is Lord, God the Father. Amen, brother. All right. So, yeah, the whole thing is, it was definitely her in the photo. It's her. It's her in the photo. Once upon a time, I guess me and her were talking on the phone or through the internet. Long time ago. I mean, and the people say that's weird. I mean, whatever. You can say whatever about it. I'm not saying it. I didn't ever say it as a flex. And I didn't need it for no content. I didn't turn it into content like that. It became content when Lemon goofy ass sensationalized it, to be honest. I was like, oh yeah, remember that picture? You know, that I showed you and shit like that? He said, yeah, it looked like so-and-so. And when she came back to the internet, like on one of my live stream, I got the property, it's my shit. I told her on my panel, I said, I know you from somewhere. You know what I'm saying? I know you from somewhere. Like your face is very familiar. So that was just it. It was just like, oh, a confirmation that I did know her from somewhere on the internet, you know what I'm saying, back in the day or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And that was it. But what they got going on right now is because Lemon and Gucci both, you know what I'm saying? Gucci is obviously gay, you know what I'm saying? And Lemon is gay or bi-curious at least. Okay. And the thing is, what hurts is it's like, bro, you were on Grindr. There was no troll move about you having Grindr apps in your phone. You had a Grindr app, and Grindr is for gay men only. I didn't even know what Grindr was. And then what was reminded to me is that the same thing that happened with Jay Wilson about the Grindr app. So I think that's when Shaquem stopped playing that Grindr thing with Jay Wilson, where Jay Wilson was saying he was straight at one point. You know what I'm saying? So there's a clip of Jay Wilson said, like, oh my God, like when the Grindr thing start tweeting or going off, he's like, so like something like that. And that thing was going off and shit like that. So, you know, I mean, it is for gay men. And then I don't know about this, but I heard that he got banned off Grindr. And then we got Yusuf, right? Yusuf was on Grindr talking to this 15-year-old boy that he put out there with Queen Tulsa, allegedly. This is what I'm hearing. That he had the boy sent him, they was exchanging nudes. And Yusuf was about a cool 45, but he's probably a cool 40 or 45, you know what I'm saying, years old. Like he's an old dude. So he was conversating with a 15-year-old boy, and you know, that's kind of tragic. You know, there ain't no kind of tragic, that's tragic. And then he got hit with enticing a minor for sex. Okay. So it's a lot of mysterious shit going on. And, you know, Lemon was banned from that app. And the thing is, I'm not going to put a jacket on him and say that he's like a weirdo like that or whatever. But like, why was you banned? That ain't my business, but he was banned from Grindr, allegedly. Okay. He was banned from Grindr. He had the Grindr app. And then they looked at his Instagram account that he follows all these fairy looking femboys and stuff like that. He's like Michael Jackson, slim guys. That's why he likes to call any guy with any kind of weight issue fat. Like he can't stand fat men. You know what I'm saying? But obviously there's some attraction to these light-skinned boys, you know what I'm saying? And matter of fact, he had a dude in his room named Michael Jackson. All right. So I don't know if it's the frustration, like, and I'm gonna be very honest about it. I'm gonna go deep. I think it's because Lemon thinks about his brother a lot that died. And I think his brother was like the brother that was supposed to be like the one that was gonna like marry the girls and had the kids and shit. And, you know, maybe he's dealing with his homosexuality from a perspective he don't want to fail his mother. Okay. You know, he don't want to fail his mom with coming out saying he's completely gay. Okay. But the comfortability that he has with gay men and the Grindr app, and then also what really took a lot of people out was when the young guys were saying, you're always touching on us. Okay. And see, these are things these are not drags on Lemon, but it's so much evidence that points in the direction that you're you're in that persuasion of liking males, okay? And even he has more disgust for men that have weight issues than he has for women that have weight issues, okay? If you want to really hear him get turned off and turned up about somebody, just let him talk about somebody, some man that's supposed to be fat. Like you can hear the disgust in his voice because maybe that's what he's genuinely attracted to. All right. So for BS to come up with that assumption about him being gay, I mean, she has come out and said that she's gay or she's leans towards bisexuality or whatever. And like, you're in the gay sector, you're certified beef sector, okay? You're beef sector limit, and it is a gay sector. All right. So if you're saying you're part of it, it's the same thing with Ken. Ken is gay, Lemon is gay, ZX is gay, right? So the guys that really be up there all day, like hitting links, gossiping with the girls all motherfucking day, talk about niggas' relationship, whether or not who love who, and you know what I'm saying, or who effing who, and how big a dude thing is, and all that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? That's that like nail shop, hair salon shit. You know what I'm saying? That, men really can care less about, right? Because I'd be like I asked Binary today. I was like, I don't like Binary. Do you really think I give a fuck about your wife, like in your relationship with your wife? Like I got friends in real life. You know what I'm saying? Even friends that's married. Oh, we go out, we hang out, whatever, right? And say we at a bar or something like that. And I see my married friend all up in the chick face. I'm like, even at work. Yeah, I've seen it at work, guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, I know their wife and shit. Dude up there in another female face, it's a coworker, and he got a whole work wife. And I'm like, only thing I might be like, bro, you sure you doing the right thing, dog? You got a wife, dog. Oh, you got a woman. You got your baby mama. You live with a bitch. I got this, bro. Don't worry about that. Just that, the third. All right. You know what I'm saying? All right. Get running into some shit now. As far as men talk about relationships about another man, niggas don't really give a fuck about who's fucking who like that. They don't. But ZX give a fuck. Like these niggas got too many signs that they're in their lifestyle, and it's not me downing them for it, but these are the guys that's playing that borderline shit. But obviously, you guys are that. You know what I mean? And then you saw that fucking shit with on a Saturday morning with Claudiva and the Black Sector, and these niggas were so focused on getting into tea about me that wasn't even existent. Like LGI didn't know no background shit about me and Kiki like that. You know what I'm saying? And they ain't dragging you, LGI, but that's just the truth. I'm telling you, you just did not get no understanding about nothing me and her had going on. I showed y'all that around that time, she was under the assumption that we was broken up. We was on the phone. She was complimenting me in the same time frame. You know what I mean? On the phone. I show y'all that. All right. Yeah, Lemon, he called himself hating fat people. Yeah, he does. Yeah, he called himself hating fat people. I mean, but like I said, at the end of the day, he got his whole thing to deal with BS. And I don't want no I heard he say something about the legal team. And I really, he really got to lean on to King Roman, I guess, and whoever else that's supposed to help him. And things like that. And I'm not like saying, oh, I would if I was there, I'll offer my services and shit like that. You know, I'm not there. I'm not gonna get involved in that shit. I'm not getting involved in that shit. I'm gonna watch that shit just like anybody else. Um, and I've gotten what I had to get. You know what I'm saying? Like as far as the sectors have to offer me, I've already gotten what it could offer. You know, I'll be over here on this channel. I don't even be canned up like that. And it's just, y'all just hear my voice and y'all see the little space in the background and things like that. I'm gonna make this more creative moving forward at some point. But what I'm not gonna do is overextend myself anymore and be put on a cape for a lot of people, because the people that I put that cape on for a lot, you know what I mean, have like just totally disappointed me. Just totally disappointed me. Like I never get sad or depressed and things like that. It's more disappointment if I feel anything. But right now I'm at a point where I really don't feel anything about what's going on. And I'm a human. I have a heart. And I do see bad times coming for Lemon, you know, with what's going on. But Lemon didn't give a fuck if he thought my bad times were coming, which they never were, which nobody on here can make happen to me. Because at the end of the day, I check my own self at the door. I make sure that I don't have myself in a situation where I could get fucked up based off my actions here on the internet. All right. I'm very crafty with what I speak and things like that. And, you know, I ain't never over here doing no threats, no extra sexualization, never threatening I'm going to do this and F this woman and do all that kind of shit. Or, you know, threaten murder, violence, or any of that stuff. I never do any of that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, YouTube just recognized me over here talking trash, if anything. All right. Or cracking jokes and being a dark comedy or whatever. But as far as going the extra mile, crashing out over the internet, I felt that way at certain points in the past. But I'm totally detached. Right. And yeah, like y'all seeing me publicly say this, and I'm gonna say this about the Mia situation. If y'all saw me over there on her channel about 2 months ago, I pleaded with her to do something else because I foresaw this shit happening. All right. And, you know, with the doxing and shit, I saw this shit happening from a mile away. I saw it. You know, I plead with her, hey, this may not be the vibe. You know, may not be the vibe. And, you know, people are adults and shit. And so I'm not ever mad about what people want to do with their own, you know, destiny. That's their destiny to do. That's where the whole Saida thing comes up, where I was trying to nudge Saida and just say, hey, moving more towards this dark shit on the internet, and you're really good with entertainment news and you know all about the celebrities and things like that. Like she's like a living tabloid. She know everything about the celebrity, they named actors and shit like that. And I think she could have been great, a big time player in the entertainment space if she just stuck with it. You know what I mean? But that's her destiny to choose, you know what I'm saying? Not mine. Like people's destiny on here is for them to choose, not mine. So I'm never mad about that. And I'm not even disappointed about that. But at the end of the day, me seeing a lot of things that happens in the different spaces. And I see, like, a lot of y'all don't know that sometimes I'm not even in spaces that you know about, and knowing people that you don't know. That's why a lot of times when I would be on a Lemon panel, people come on, Octavius knows me. You know what I'm saying? I would know a lot of different people from different spaces. And that's not me flexing. But the thing is, I see a cycle of the same shit no matter what. Um, and no matter who, and nobody beats the program. Nobody goes beyond the program. And then the only way to really go beyond the program is to get totally slaughtered, like I have been, and still survive. I've been totally doxxed. I've been lied on. Hell, you got people that was calling me pedophiles less than 48 hours ago. You know what I'm saying? And I never, I don't even be around kids like that. You know what I mean? My stepdaughter is a doctor that graduated from Johns Hopkins University. You know what I mean? The little girl I raised is a doctor, a full medical doctor. Okay. Was in band. I played saxophone when I was in high school. I showed her how to play saxophone and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like I was too tired working. I paid for money for her and her mom to go to Disneyland, Disney World, shit like that. Back when I was working at Pepsi and shit like that. You know what I mean? I made sacrifice for a child that wouldn't even children. It was to her and her little brother. Her little brother is like an accomplished, like he got his own shit going real nice. Got a wife and shit. So the little boy that I raised, so he got his own, and then I got my own biological son. So all the kids that been around me have prospered and did great things or whatever. And all that shit that people want to make up because they just can't stand me, they want to see me defeated, they want to see me down, they want me to be like they're the people that they like. Because the thing is, y'all like the Ken Nolas, y'all like them, but I'm not on here talking about how I'm gonna grape a woman or F a child. You're never gonna hear that shit from me. It just ain't in my spirit. All right. Just because you have a motherfucker stalking me and trying to clout chase me from sector to sector and shit like that, and y'all think something of this motherfucker, doesn't mean that me and that motherfucker have any similarities. None at all. None at all. Right? So, niggas want to put them jackets on me and things like that. I mean, I hope they repent to God, and I hope they don't go to hell for the things that those slanderous lies they put out about a man like me. You know what I mean? But people gonna do what they're gonna do, and you know what I'm saying? What you ain't never seen is no goddamn kid, no woman, nobody ever come out and say a fuck thing about how I violated, how I robbed them, stole from them, conned them, sexualized them. None of that shit. Because that ain't who I am. Now, or I felt on them and shit like that. Now with Lemon got some shit going down with him. And the thing is, there is some questionable shit, because sadly, like the drunk uncle scenario is something that CPS will look into. Okay. If he is known for being a drunk, drinking, and raising a little girl, or help raising a little girl, babysit a little girl, empathetic all day. And the thing about Lemon, his body is like he has no muscle. Like he's still a young guy to a certain degree, but his muscles are atrophied. All right. So he's this kind of guy, he can't win like an arm wrestling competition, nothing like that. You know what I mean? He ain't got no strength because you look like he just chill and lay up all day, which we know he does because he gets on the phone and argue with old ladies and gay men. And the thing is, the summary is that there is some suspicious activity or whatever with Lemon. Do I think that people are doing this out of concern for the child? Hell no. I'm not gonna be a blind follower and say that. You know what I'm saying? But he put himself in this position and he alienated a lot of people that had nothing but, want to see him do well, right? And I'm done being like on that teacher shit for the most part, at least in these spaces. No, I'm not. Like for example, I helped my friend 74 with a lot of things. Even about how the internet is and how vicious it is, because she was like she was in the sector, Latrice Allen sector, but she was the game, how the game go. You know what I'm saying? I put up on some game and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's one person I can say that, like, I'm the least bit saying I got her talent is her talent alone, and how she keep a crowd is how, like, it's like with her, but with her, like, how to keep a crowd, how to engage a crowd is something I learned from her. As far as if you want to be a content creator, like 74 is like one of the ultimate bloggers as far as like, keeping a crowd and keeping that joyous vibe going with the crowd, to keep that happy feeling going too as well. Because even when you beefing and things like that, one thing I like about how they are over there when they beef, it's still kind of like a joyous type of occasion when they doing the beefing. And in some spaces it gets so dark that regular people are like, I can't, it's getting a little too dark. Right. But they have a perfect balance of how they do they content shit. You know what I mean? On both sides, whatever. It gets dark, but it's like still kind of like a balance there. Right. So that's why even when Ken tried to introduce himself to the Latrice Allen sector, once they heard all that pedophilic shit he'd be saying about kids and all that shit, they're like, the crowd said no. The crowd like, no, we ain't fucking with that. You know what I'm saying? So all that crazy, nasty gutter shit, you know what I'm saying? Like the kids and things like that. Like they do drag kids, but not on that, they like on that on that sexual shit level. You know what I'm saying? But how you doing, Miami Popo? What's good? How long we been live? So I've been live for an hour and 20 minutes, and well, I'll give y'all 10 more minutes. Well, yeah, I just said all in all with the whole thing with Lemon and his ordeals that he got to deal with. I mean, it's self-imposed, and also we'll see what King Roman has to do. And I believe that King Roman after he. I don't hate King Roman. Matter of fact, I don't hate nobody. I just want to put that out there. I don't. But King Roman, I think that I don't know if he's gonna like be there for Lemon like that, because this is the conundrum with King Roman. Because I when he was saying what he said, I feel what he was saying about him kind of like exiting and doing his own thing, and like, sacrificing the clout and all that kind of stuff and giving up the call-ins. I think that he's more in the situation where if he rush in to save Lemon or extend himself to help Lemon in this situation, he's going to get caught up and delayed from what he wants to do. And then there might be some personal strikes with his people as well, and his people. If it ain't him, they'll go after somebody that he fucked with, right? And it's kind of like, does King Roman owe Lemon that type of loyalty? You know what I'm saying? To be around, especially when he wants to go to better pastures and stuff like that. Like, and even myself, it's like, I've done this nigga shit for so long, and I've done it by force. In a lot of ways, I've done it by force, it's always gonna be a weak ass nigga like Gucci or ODS or something like that that's gonna Ken that's gonna shit on your name everywhere they go. Um, it's always gonna be those types and shit like that. You feel me? But the being in these spaces like that, and like he wants to go and do the TikTok thing and probably doing skits and things like that and try to get at some real money and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So if he goes and saves Lemon, then obviously there's gonna be a backlash from the other side, which is probably the VS camp and VS herself or whatever. And she might start targeting some of the people that he fucked with. That's an even more easier target than Lemon is, right? Just by jumping in and trying to help, right? So that him stopping to go back to help Lemon can be his delay. I've been in that situation myself multiple fucking times, right? Where I stop, I gotta go back and help this person, go back and help this person, and then it's causing a delay from my own destiny and shit. You know what I'm saying? And so if he does that, he's gonna be in a situation where like now he's delayed. He could be stuck here another 2 years after just interjecting himself in Lemon's bullshit. Now, how this shit happened, and they want to rewrite shit and blame it on me and said it was because of that picture or whatever, they fell out. It's not. It was because old girl went live and said that, talked about Mia. I didn't see that shit. I don't know what the fuck was said about that. I don't know if Mia said something about her. That part I don't know. It's a mystery to me. About, I heard something about she wasn't who she is. She ain't talented or something like that. That part, but and also Lemon was gay. But I really feel like Lemon has built some kind of deep bond with Mia, and by Mia being offended, he put on his big man draws. Like he put on his big man, big boy draws that day when he went live. You know what I'm saying? So like they talk about how they talk for hours and stuff like that on the phone, and that's his friend now. Okay, that's his friend. His friends was, in his mind, probably picked on for no fucking reason, right? And the fact that she's doxxed already and things like that, that probably got him mad. I don't know if, we don't know if they talk behind the scenes and shit like that. But the Lemon being gay thing, and I know for a fact that her, or like Mia, and they talk about it publicly, but I know for a fact that Mia and Lemon talk on the phone all the time, right? And they have a deep friendship. They have a friendship. It's not sexual, but it's a friendship, right? So I think he wanted to go the extra mile. He wanted to save the princess in that situation. And the gay comment was the doorway to, and he was drunk, it was a doorway to spaz out that day, and, talk his shit. And the thing is, if you truly are a straight man and someone is playing with your sexuality, you have every right to go out there and wild the fuck out and cuss a bitch out about that shit. No matter who the fuck it is. If it's the president of the United States, yeah, you have a right to cuss a motherfucker out about playing with your manhood, shit like that. But I don't really feel like he holds that dear because he doesn't follow the man code. He in constant communication with a lot of these gay guys on the back end. It's a lot of questionable shit about Lemon to the point where that he shouldn't have been faded by that. But I think had more to do with that girl being involved. That's his friend that he felt like was being picked on, and he was a little zooted and shit like that. But he felt like he's standing on business and things like that. And, you know, truthfully, that's his right to do. That's his right to do. Now, measuring out the cost of it, when it comes down to all the CPS action, the shit with the dog, the court case shit, all that. I mean, and the thing is, like I can say, even with that court case shit, the niggas writing letters, that don't, and I ain't gonna get no advice, but that don't mean a fuck thing to a nigga that's wise. You know what I'm saying? Especially for niggas from the internet. A traffic case, like, goddamn. But I'm not finna give nobody no help. I swear I ain't. You know, because I'm a teacher. I'll get to teaching real quick. But I ain't finna give nobody no help. But that wouldn't be a problem for me. You know what I'm saying? That would I would laugh at that shit. But yeah, a lot of things that he got coming up is gonna be, it's like, is it worth it? And on the other side, what is the end game for them doing this to this man? So what are they gonna get out of this in return for all this torture? Right? But one thing I won't do is invite anybody that's trying to fuck Lemon up, fuck his life up over to my page so they can spill their guts and laugh at that nigga life being fucked up or whatever the fuck. And I'm not going to be on the other side trying to save Lemon's life or whatever the fuck, because that nigga played with he nigga tried to play in my shit and thought it was fucking cute. And not knowing that when that shit started, the whole little thing that y'all thought it was going to get Octavius right and get me together or whatever the fuck, finally Octavius is going to have a real embarrassing moment and all that shit. Like I said, everything has already been calculated. Everything has already been calculated. Niggas backstabbing me, niggas doing fuck shit, all of that. Niggas trying to gaslight me, niggas trying to do petty trolling like Goosey was trying to do today or whatever the fuck. All that shit has been calculated. All right. And you see, ain't too much going on with Octavius' name right now. And that's what I already knew was going to happen. Period. Now, I'm not going to give niggas my methodology on how I handle shit, but you see how I handle things. All right, I handle shit. But yeah, let's just wrap it up. I wish y'all nothing but the best. You know what I'm saying? When it comes down to what y'all got going on. I'm going to be watching. I am not going to get myself involved on either side, especially on that lady side. But even on Lemon just as fucked up as her in my book now. So I'm not on nobody's side. I'm over there. I just knocked out. Let me see how much y'all public can see on the main page. Let's see what y'all can see public on the main page when it comes to Octavius Prime. So on the main page, how many views did we get? Okay, y'all can go over there under the main page. You can see on a got monetized, and I gained about 50 subs now. So it showed me I gained 50 subs on that one stream, praise God. Okay. That one stream gave me 50 subs. And in the studio, it's saying 20,000 views in 1 hour, baby. Less than 1 hour, 54 minutes. Less than 1 hour. So any nigga thinking I'm behind the scenes clout chasing niggas and shit like that, ask them, are they getting 20,000 views in 1 hour? with 600 people that they don't even fucking know in their chat. All right. That's why I can't even go live on the main page to talk about things like this no more. Cause it's like, it'll fuck up my shit. And you know, the whole thing about it is, by me putting these little keywords into to my, like me putting niggas' names in the title just a little bit, Google Gemini knows exactly what I'm doing. And it seems like when I was doing this type of content, only in the streets that I broke like the 10,000 barrier in an hour, maybe like 3 or 4 times. And I think me and Kiki had the back and forth. Me and her both definitely beat that, but it was just too much people interested in our business. But that was the only time like I broke the barrier like that, like 10,000 plus was like street sector content, and then me and Kiki back and forth content. But it's like when you're like dealing in these spaces, it seems like YouTube lock your ass the fuck in. Like they lock you the fuck in. Solid. And it's like you can't get out that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like you trapped. Right? So what happened with me though, the reason why my channel transformed the way it did, I come from the conscious community. Online conscious community, that's where I come from originally. I'm the original conscious community, not sector, right? So talking about politics and world history and shit like that, that's up my alley. All right. So I absorbed that very, very well when I listened to like what's going on with politics, the news and things like that. And I started off doing that type of content when I first came back on, when I first started doing live streams. So right now, one of the things I've learned is that I had the luxury of having multiple channels that's all monetized. So this was monetized as well, fully monetized. And the content that I do on the main channel, it's all presentable, family friendly, presentable, clean, you know, nothing nasty. I've done exposés about nasty stuff, but I am myself presented as a good guy on the main page. All right. And family fun, all that kind of stuff. And YouTube has a ranking system and a grading system, and it will not push nobody to your shit if it feels like you a fuck nigga. And how they figure that you a fuck nigga, don't turn your camera on too much. Go live, a whole lot of cussing, yelling, bitching, and talk about this motherfucker, naming niggas in your title that they know in these chitlin circuit sectors, and you're going to be stuck. Right? That's what's going to happen. The moment I stopped doing that, and then what happened was a person went on my page, they stole that video, Sylvester Stallone, of me getting him on camera with my cell phone. They stole that video, and then the video did like 15 million. It's like doing 15 million. My video is doing 15 million views on Twitter right now because a motherfucker stole my shit. All right, I can go over there and flag them, but what happened was people started looking for the Sylvester Stallone shit, and then when they're on YouTube, they're doing the same thing. So it started bringing all these people for Sylvester Stallone, and then the Trump people start seeing when we drive by Mar-a-Lago, and I got like 2-3 other more videos. Kiki got some videos herself of Mar-a-Lago. But I got 2 videos of Mar-a-Lago the last time that she was here. We rode by there. And people watch that video every day. The Mar-a-Lago video about Trump's home here in West Palm Beach. And then the Sylvester Stallone. So it put me in a Palm Beach. It put me in the Palm Beach, West Palm Beach, like type space, because I got Clematis, City Place, all that kind of stuff all the little things that go on the yacht club, the all that kind of stuff, and it all surrounds Trump. So they pushed me into the Sylvester Stallone Trump algorithm on the main page. So when I filmed that live, the anti-Trump protest, the views just went fucking through the fucking roof. Like it went crazy. And a lot of people are trying to do it to get into the Trump algorithm. But the thing is that my shorts got so much traction with Trump already throughout the years because I live here in Palm Beach, Sylvester Stallone, all that is like I'm perfect for it. So if I go live on that page and start talking about some nigga shit, my subscribers are gonna like unsubscribe like a motherfucker, whole bunch of shit. So if I do it, I gotta do it in a classy way. I just can't go live and be a whole nigga no more. You know what I'm saying? Can't do that no more. So every time I go live, I'm getting on like 40, 50 subs every live stream I'm doing. So, I'm getting my own little thing going. And plus people like my shorts and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And like Kiki's no longer on YouTube. So I'm going to take some of this, like Kiki's no longer on YouTube. So I'm going to be uploading videos of her onto my page and, keep her name popping until if she ever decide to come back. You know what I mean? Like you'll see some of her videos and things on my page. You know what I'm saying? So if you're looking for anything, you'll see her stuff on my page as far as uploads or whatever. And we're going to keep it like that. So if she ever decide to come back to YouTube, you know what I mean? Her name is already in the algorithm. You know what I'm saying? Heavy. So, but I got probably from that trip alone, I probably got at least 15 more shorts I can do. You know what I mean? About 15 more shorts, and I'm going to work on that tomorrow too. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for coming in. And I do have it where I could do a call in if y'all ever want to call in and voice your opinions. I do have a Google number just for that. And I'm going to be doing that as well with the Trump people as well. So I'm going to see how that works tomorrow or sometime this week. All right. Peace, everybody. Well, so I'm going to see how that works.